Hello, welcome to my messy room again. This is my week 3 check-in for IT 120. So let's look at what assignments are coming up and what you guys have done. So, a couple of things. The online discussion, you guys have done really good at that. I've enjoyed those. I might try to respond to a few of you personally, but that I really helps. Particularly later when we're going to work with a group, it'll be nice that you have some idea who each person is and what they know. So these have been good. Several of you have turned in the database scope, and so far they've all looked really good. Again, it's just a document. It can resemble my example. Some of you are more detailed in the example, which is great. But most everybody has the idea fairly, done fairly well. If you haven't done it yet, please do. Just create a scope for the database in the sample, the co-op. So this is an example of looking at the data. So let's look at this assignment. A couple of you have done this, but most have not. It has a link to the data samples. Couple of things to know about this. This is not the way the database is going to look. But it shows you the data that the database needs to look with. So you have the members, and if you notice what things about it, what do you notice about these that give you questions? What kinds of questions does the data give you? One thing that was a little unclear, I think, is when we get down here with the supplier, the blackberries and the tomatoes are all assumed to come from Jeff Cotton. The zucchini and the sunflower seeds all come from South Puget Farms, and Sue Brown did that. So these are not without a supplier. It's the same supplier as the one above and the same date. Down here, the purchases by members, and then this is sort of an inventory. And again, the inventory does not reflect the sales up here in this purchases. But these are some data just to work with to give you an idea of what the data will look like. These are not how the tables will look in the database, just to reinforce that. But a lot of times you have data to look at, you need to think about it. I want you to start thinking about data and how the data works. That's what this assignment is about. I do want to mention, just though it's not immediately, normalization will be a challenging assignment. And I will so it gives you some data for an example. And then it wants you to normalize this data. I do give you let's go back to the home. Things before you do that assignment. You should look at the normalization Google slides, right? And have the relational design one too. So those two, you should probably have a good idea about them. And you should do the YouTube video for relational design and the YouTube video for normalization. You should do both of those before you do the actual assignment. There are scripts for those if that helps you. So normalization is a bit of a challenge. It's also the first time you'll be using a diagramming program. And again, I have two of them here. One is Lucid Charts, which you can get at lucidchart.com. And don't do sign up for free if you haven't done this already. Go way down here and go to education. And then under education, you can do the free EDU. All right. It's still limited. It gives you only 10 documents, but you can have 100 items per that and 100 megabyte of storage. So that's an option here. And if you run out of diagrams, you can delete one and it'll let you create another. You just can only have 10 active ones for free. Another option is Draw.io. Let's go to diagrams.net. So I am going to go back. No, there. Let's do draw.io. All right. So, and it goes to device. I want to originally gives you this. You can do these online, and then you can store them locally, including to device. And if you do this, it'll give you Get Desktop, and you can actually download it for your desktop if you want, right? Rather than doing it online. Draw.io is a lot like the Lucid Charts, but it doesn't have the same restrictions. So it actually might be the better choice. So Draw.io is another one, or appdiagrams.net. All right. So you can also use anything else that you would want to do these diagrams, but they need to be a database diagram. It needs to be a data entity diagram. I think that is all that I have. Oh, a couple other things I just wanted to mention. Rather than do the office hours as a just sitting an hour and sitting there for an hour, mostly twiddling my thumbs while the Zoom is on, I think I'm going to change to basically Zoom by appointment. If you need to see me, if an email isn't enough and you need to see me, let me know by email and we'll set up an individual Zoom session. I think that'll be more effective. I'll also put that in the announcement. So I think that is it. Have a good week. Let me know how things go.